Hello creators, welcome to my new art channel called Fantashleyart Art. And for the first video I have created for all of you to watch is the No AI Starter Pack Art Challenge. And sorry for the late post on this art trend. It takes me some time to create a new artwork when it's something I have never drawn before. Especially slower for me when I film the entire process of the drawing from start to finish. But doing this art challenge and filming the entire process was a good choice for me to introduce myself and to make it into my first video for my new art channel. Now going towards the process of this video, the first part of creating my own starter pack is what kind of box I wanted to draw myself in. At first, I thought I would use the same type of packaging as all the other artists drew themselves in for their starter packs. But after looking through many different types of starter packs other artists created themselves in for references and ideas to create my own, they were all the same type of packaging and I wanted to try something different. I decided to draw my starter pack in a rectangle box to give it more room to decorate and plan out. Since, as I said before, that this is a new challenge for me to draw, and I wanted more room to plan it out, instead of the small space other artists used when they drew their own starter packs. From deciding what kind of box I wanted to draw for my starter pack, the next part was deciding the items to choose that represent me and put them in my starter pack. The items I chose to put in my starter pack were my Apple iPad with my Apple Pencil, my iPhone and headphones, a pack of Crayola pencil crayons, a Pepsi, a pack of Aero chocolates, my sketchbook, and drawing utensils. These are the items I chose to put in my starter pack because these items represent me the most and that have been a part of my life during my entire creativity process of creating art. Even though I chose these items for my starter pack, it still took me a lot of time to think and make the decision of items to choose and draw in my starter pack. If I picked out too many of them, it would take too much time to organize and draw all of them and the video would be too long in the end. So for a summary of detailed explanation on why I chose these items and why they represent me the most, is that they have been a part of my entire life of creating art. But here is a more detailed explanation. Firstly, for my technology devices, I drew all of my digital drawings on my Apple iPad and used my iPhone to search for inspiration and references for my art. Secondly, the pack of my Crayola pencil crayons are my favorite traditional art supplies, including my sketchbook and other drawing utensils that I use to create and plan out my sketches and future drawings. Lastly, the Pepsi and Aero chocolates are my favorite snacks to eat for any occasion in my life. Next up was the coloring process and choosing the right color coordination that would look best for my starter pack. Starting off with coloring the box, I had to choose the right colors that would coordinate best with my starter pack, and it took a lot of time to choose the correct ones. I tried thinking that coloring my starter pack green for the outer layer of the box and then using light green to color the inside of the box was the best choice, because green is my favorite color, but it wasn't working out for me, so I tried thinking of other colors that would work out better. But it took me even more time to think of the best option and thinking that magenta or dark pink would be a good idea, but it still didn't work out. Then I tried using orange and it was actually the best option. Even though I heard people say orange is an ugly color, I really liked how it turned out in the end after finishing my starter pack, because using a darker shade of orange to color the inside of the box, it brightens the box more when I use a brighter shade of orange to color the outer layer of the box. After I finished coloring the box, I went on coloring all the items I chose to put in my starter pack. And then the drawing of myself in the outfit I chose to draw myself in for this art challenge. Firstly, coloring my iPad, Apple Pencil, and my iPhone and headphones were easy to do because I just had to use black and white to color them in. Secondly, the process of coloring in the sketchbook and my drawing utensils and the pack of Crayola pencil crayons took a lot more time because of all the details I put into the drawing. All these items, and for the Crayola pack, I decided to color in the gap that shows the pencil crayons as a rainbow. To do that, I had to count how many slots I put in to represent each pencil crayon color and create a rainbow graph with different shades of colors, from red to purple. After experimenting, I colored in all 23 slots. I drew for each pencil crayon and the results turned out great. Lastly, coloring the bottle of Pepsi and pack of Aero chocolates didn't take too much time. I just had to look up pictures of both items to get the colors and design as accurate as I could, and it turned out great too. Next part is coloring myself in the outfit I chose to draw myself in, which was my Disney shawl shirt, my favorite yellow shorts, wearing my red scrunchie around my wrist, and my pair of black and white Adidas sneakers. It took me a while to color in my Disney shawl shirt because of all the colors that were on it, and I had to keep looking at the actual shirt I own to make sure I was using the right colors and arranging them correctly to make it as accurately as I could. I had to leave out all of the designs on the shirt because it would take too much time to draw all of them. I had to repeat the arranging and coloring process of my shawl shirt a few times, but the results in the end turned out great and it looked like the actual shirt I own. Moving along towards coloring the rest of my outfit, I colored the shorts a bright yellow, the scrunchie I wore around my wrist the color red, then the inside shirt I wore under my shawl shirt was colored in cerulean blue. Coloring my outfit was a challenge and it took a lot of time to do it, but I also had to finish the coloring details of the rest of my appearance, from my skin, hair, and eyes, and the entire drawing of myself came out looking like me and turning out great. With the entire coloring process over, I moved to the next step of my process and adding all the details to my starter pack drawing, adding another lining to my full body self-portrait of myself, and to all the items in my starter pack, made it out to be less blocky in my perspective. And I used the airbrush pen feature for the entire process of this detail. Using the airbrush pen was a good idea to use for putting in the different shades of brown in the hair, which made it more lifelike. Next part, in the details, I wanted to make my starter pack to be more like packaging for an actual doll, because that is what the starter pack is supposed to look like in the end. But I didn't know how to make it more like that. So to find a way to make my starter pack more suited to be for a doll, I went back to the references I collected from other artists that created their own starter packs. And by looking more into the details of each one I used for references, I found it. The detail I found to make my starter pack more doll-like is adding a black lining around my full body self-portrait and all the accessories I added to the packaging to make it look like a plastic covering for each item in the box that's used in actual doll packaging. But it wasn't enough, and I tried going over the black lining again with the airbrush pen and adding lighting to each one. But instead of using the color black again, I used the color white, thinking it would make it look more like plastic, and the final results came out way better, making my starter pack looking more suited for a doll and its accessories. After adding the lighting to the rest of the box, I started thinking about how to decorate the rest of the box for my starter pack to make it stand out more. I tried thinking of different ideas to make my starter pack stand out more and decided to go back looking through all the starter packs I looked up that other artists have created again and use them as references for ideas. Thinking of drawing different types of patterns, using different shapes, using different kinds of colors that would brighten up my starter pack. Even trying different types of brushes on Clip Studio Paint, experimenting different types of textures. Seeing what looks better than the last, there was even an idea of thinking and trying to draw my headshot, showing with a giant smile on my face, presenting myself in the starter pack. But I was already too far into almost completing the drawing of my starter pack, that I couldn't make such a big change to it. I wish I could have added all the experimentations and ideas I thought of and did during the recording of this entire video, but it was just another reason for me to know that I would be making this video too long in the end, and I had to cut it all out. Anyway, back to the process of making my starter pack box stand out more. Firstly, after writing in my Instagram name and writing the title starter pack on my box in the color magenta, I decided to color around the title starter pack with the color purple while using the gouache paintbrush. Next, while continuing on using the gouache paintbrush, I painted around my full body self-portrait using the color yellow, but a darker tone of it. After I finished painting around my full body self-portrait, I started painting each of the items I chose to put in my starter pack in different colors that would brighten up the box, and use the gouache paint brush to paint all of it. For my Apple iPad and Apple Pencil, I colored around it using the color blue. For my sketchbook and the drawing utensils I put into it, I colored around it using the color pink. For the pack of 100 Crayola pencil crayons, I colored around it using the color raspberry. Next one was the bottle of Pepsi, and I colored around it using the color light blue. After that, I colored around the pack of Aero chocolates with the color green. And the last item being my iPhone and headphones, I colored around it using the color orange, or light orange. After coloring around all the items in my starter pack, I chose to color around the no AI symbol with the color light purple. Now, after I finished coloring all the items in my starter pack, it still didn't stand out much in my opinion, so I decided to decorate the rest of the box. I went to think of maybe trying different patterns in different colors, but it didn't work out for me, and I decided to decorate my box with different types and colors of shapes that look great in the end. The shapes and colors I used were 4 different shapes, and each shape was a different color. I drew stars in the color blue, triangles in the color raspberry but a lighter tone. Next were squares in a bright yellow, and finally circles in the color purple. That completes the coloring and decorating process for my entire starter pack, from my full body self-portrait, the outfit I chose to draw myself in, all the accessories I put into the pack, and decorating the entire box. This also includes all the shadowing I added into my entire drawing, and that is the end of this video. Thank you everyone for staying to watch my first YouTube video and introducing myself to YouTube again. I said again because I had another YouTube channel using the same name before, and it was not too long ago that I decided to delete the whole channel. I deleted the channel in the first place because it was going nowhere and I didn't know what I was doing, and was just posting videos whenever I managed to finish creating my latest one. And I had no posting schedule at all. That's why I decided to delete the entire channel and start from zero. Now, with this new channel I created, I will be talking in all my videos that I create for my YouTube channel. So it will take some time for me to make a script for every video I create, because I've always been shy, never been a big talker, and always been the quiet girl. From being a quiet girl and writing scripts for my videos, I will mostly be repeating a lot of things because I always have a hard time with what I want to say. I apologize about that and will do my best to improve my skills at writing in my scripts and get better at talking more. I don't have a posting schedule yet, but I decided to post new videos on Wednesdays and Fridays at 4 p.m. I'm going to try my best to keep posting new content regularly, and if there will be changes or updates on my channel, I will post them to tell you guys beforehand. That's all I have to say for now, and thank you everyone again for watching my first video on my new channel. And keep watching for new updates on upcoming videos and new content on my channel and all my other social media sites in the future. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And thank you everyone again for watching this video. See you later, and please keep on creating. Okay, bye.